This video is kindly brought to you by the Deck of Many and Humblewood.net. Welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. I'm Theo, and today we're here to talk about the walking statue of Waterdeep. This is the Honorable Knight, one of the biggest miniatures I've ever seen, and certainly one of the biggest things we've ever reviewed. We are currently celebrating our 1,000 subscriber milestone, and we are giving away this giant miniature as well as a full set of the Deck of Many and other prizes. If you want to learn more about that, visit gallantgoblin.com/win. For as long as people can remember, a lone 90-foot tall statue stood on the northern foot of Mount Waterdeep and peered out to sea. In 1385, however, the spell plague was unleashed across the land, and in Waterdeep, 6 additional behemoth statues suddenly appeared around the city and began wreaking havoc. The defenders of Waterdeep managed to stop 3 of the statues, when suddenly the rest came to a sudden stop. Prior to the spell plague, the statues had stood in the ethereal plane, where they could not be seen by the Waterdavians on the material plane. After the rampage, the Archmage of Waterdeep attempted to return the statues to the ethereal plane, but was unsuccessful. The city was forced to rebuild around the statues. Almost 100 years later, another statue suddenly appeared and defended the open Lord of Waterdeep's tower against an intrusion. Once the danger had passed, it flew off to the mountain eyrie where it continues to sit to this day. None of the statues have moved since then, more than a decade ago. The statues are named the Godcatcher, the Griffin, the Sahuagin Humbled, the Great Drunkard, the Lady Dreaming, the Hawkman, the Sword Maiden, and the Honorable Knight. According to lore prior to 5th edition, the statues were constructed to guard against intrusions from the ethereal plane. They possessed consciousness and free will, and could learn, adapt, and reason. They obeyed only their creator or a person they deemed to be a legitimate authority figure. Most citizens viewed the statues as little more than massive landmarks at this point. It was reported that when the other walking statues came to a halt, the Honorable Knight bowed to those it was fighting, straightened, doffed its shield, and planted its sword in the ground upright by its side. It froze in that position, facing southwest toward the harbor in the trades ward of Waterdeep. The miniature here is in an offensive position, so it more clearly reflects the statue after it has begun moving again. There is a stat block for the walking statue in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It has a challenge rating of 18 and is resistant to magic and immune to effects that would change its form. The miniature is 11 inches tall, compared to about 30 millimeters for a regular humanoid miniature. Assuming an average height of about 5 foot 10 inches, that would make the statue about 54.5 feet tall. Dragon Heist only gives the height of the Sahuagin Humbled statue, which it places at 90 feet. So this miniature doesn't even truly represent the enormous size of the statues. The statue comes with a clear base with 3 pegs, 2 for 1 foot and 1 peg for the other foot. It's actually very difficult to get it on the base properly. I broke off one of the pegs trying to make it fit, so be very careful when you're trying to put it on its base. It cannot stand alone without its base. And if you have the source book Acquisitions Incorporated, it includes information on how to start your own franchise of the Indomitable organization. And part of creating a franchise is having a headquarters. So they give you a list of a couple of different kinds of headquarters you can have, and one of the ones they include is a 100-foot tall walking statue. So this is perfect for that. It includes information in there about how to upgrade your headquarters, how it would move, how it would attack, how you could weaponize it. So if you have this book, this might be a great addition to your Acquisitions Inc. campaign. Now, this figure has a manufacturer suggested retail price of $59.99, so it's not an inexpensive product. I haven't seen it go on sale too much yet, but sometimes these things do have deals, so you might want to be on the lookout for that. But I'd like to know in the comments below, how would you use this in your campaigns? How would you use it on your battle maps? I'm sure that some of you have some creative suggestions for that, so leave those in the comment area below. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsor, the Deck of Many. They have a new campaign sourcebook coming out later this fall in November called Humblewood. In addition to the new setting, races, spells, monsters, and class options, the Humblewood book contains an adventure that takes a party from level 1 to level 5. You can play as the races included in the book or as standard D&D races. The adventure accommodates both. The peace and tranquility of the Humblewood is threatened by the sudden expansion of the Scorched Grove, an ashen plain that was ravaged many centuries ago by a destructive elemental fire. The players must investigate the cause of the encroachment of the Scorched Grove and find a way to stop it before the wood is reduced to ashes. You can find out more and purchase a PDF version of the book at humblewood.net. Thank you for joining us today. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Otherwise, we'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.